Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I'm coming to you with a mid-year planner update. This doesn't look anything like I thought that it would look, and I feel like I'm a broken record in saying that. It's just been the last couple of years of, I don't know, too many options, too much to distract. There's a lot going on here. It's frustrating because I really thought that I had all of the answers and that I was well on my way to the elusive planner piece. I don't even know if planner peace is attainable in the current environment that we have with all of the options that are out there and the distractions, although welcome because it's nice to look at, of social media, where we see somebody in what looks to be the perfect situation for their planner, and then we want to have something that looks as nice and cozy and lived in as they do. All I do know right now is that I really do prefer rings for my like messy planning or the lived in planning or just the ability to move things around. I'm just not sure that anything is ever going to completely take that place. And then I also want to keep up with something that will turn into the planner that I look through and flip through for the year. And I wish that I could make those two things into one, but right now it just doesn't seem like I can. I really wanted that something to be a Hobonichi Weeks, but I don't know. I just can't make friends with the paper, and I ultimately am really sad about that, although I have something coming for next year that I hope will like answer those problems, but I'm at this point just not convinced that that's going to be the answer, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. Really, it's about being super in love with this cover and not having anything in this cover in other sizes, and so I feel the need to go back and use it because I love it so much. So right now the answer I have come up with is rings, which I thought that I was super content and happy and everything was all well and good for, but I've recently had like a little crisis just in the size situation. So yeah, I had used last year, I guess more than anything, I had used Pocket with Pocket Plus inserts. Then this year I was going to try to go back to A6, and then I was like, no, just go with Personal. For me, a lot of it has to do with what's easily and readily available. And I've used Personal for the longest, like in my planning history, and it's a very usual size. You don't have trouble finding inserts for it or accessories for it, and I was like, just go back to Personal size. And that was working out really, really well, except for now it's summer, like full-fledged summer, and I'm taking really small bags with me everywhere, just little crossbodies, and I don't want to carry a bag that this fits into, but I also don't like the burden of carrying this everywhere in my hand. So then I was like, well, what about Pocket? And then there's such a dramatic decrease in size. And then, of course, there's A6, but it's really not much smaller than the Personal size. It's just got that nice, beautiful square layout that is so nice for being able to have more width for writing in. And this one is a little harder to find things for. Pocket Plus even more so. I love this little cover from Vander Speck, and as much as I don't like the spine on many of the Vander Speck planners, this one for the junior is just really, really nice, and I really, really like it, and I'd like to make this my planner, but I feel like I've invested so much now in getting my Personal rings all set up, and I don't know, I'm just very much torn. So if you look at like the layout, so this is the same, and the sizing isn't too different, especially within the weeks. Like the sizing for this insert is almost identical in the Pocket Plus, which in this case I believe is an A6 size down, because this is not offered in Pocket Plus size, last I checked, from Peanuts Planner Co. And this is my favorite insert for weeklies right now. But if I like, this might not be at best. Okay, so let's look at like this example of a busier week. So I don't have to have this much space for my tracker. This one I feel like usually works out pretty well. These still have the 7 columns for me to put my workouts and my work schedule here. And then I usually don't have that long of a to-do list. So the smaller size for this particular insert works out pretty well. It's just that you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you lose one line. So if it's a really busy day, I might not have enough to put here. But generally, I've been trying to use this planner not as much as a memory keeper because I'm trying to use something else as my memory keeper. And so this is just literally places I need to go on these particular days, my running, to-do lists, tasks, and trackers. So I feel like I could definitely size down back to Pocket Plus for this, but now I've got so many notes back in this planner instead of this planner, and then I was like, well, then I'll just move to A6. But then this is big and bulky again, and not what I'm looking for right at the moment, I guess. So I had that whole like planner crisis this weekend, and then I was like, what about my Moleskine? Because that's really cool and all, but it also doesn't give me overall everything I need in a planner. And so I was like, well, what about like a running to-do list task in just a thin notebook? So these two things together are super thin and don't take up as much space as a Rings notebook. And I was like, what if I could live without like my extra tracking inserts on the go? And I used my Ring planner at home and used this planner on the go, but which this would totally work. This layout I like. It doesn't have like all of the places that I need as far as I feel like in a weekly layout versus what I use in my preferred weekly. So I can put my work schedule here, which is what I also did with the Hobonichi weeks, and my running task list. There's no place to write in my workout otherwise, unless I put it in here, and I just feel like I don't have enough space there. So that would be like a downside for me, because I am trying to track my workouts because I'm just really working hard at my like natural weight loss journey here that I'm on. And so it also doesn't have a place for me to do scratch notes or the like running to-do lists. So I decided that I was going to just take this out the other day and just see how it went. So I had places that I needed to be and a very small shopping list. And then I had enough space here at the bottom to note my workout, which I was tired last night and didn't come in after church in the evening and note like what my workout was, but I have it like screenshot of it so that I can come in and list it here or any of these places. So this is what I was thinking about doing. I just know that this is going to get like super janky as time goes on, and as it's in my bag, it's going to get squished, and I'm not going to love that part of it. But I do kind of really, I guess, like the simplistic idea of just like grabbing this, shoving a pen and throwing it in my bag, and knowing that this is going to be super light in my bag and not take up a bunch of space, and that it's kind of no fuss. And I like that idea of it, but I just really try to simplify, as much chaos as this is, what I'm doing day to day in my planner. I just don't know how to keep up with several things. So Rings, Pocket Plus still might be a great idea. I mean, I can still have this in my bag either way, no matter what option I go with day to day, because this is not going to take up as much space anyway. Let's see. I can even, since I don't keep my planner super bulky, it's not going to be beautiful in there, but I mean, I can even incorporate that into my planner so that it's one piece of something. But I also have added something else as my list. So in thinking that, you know, I could take this with me and then update this at night, like I know myself, by the time I go to work all day and I come home and I have dinner and I do my workout, I want to spend time with my husband and my kids and not spend more time in my planner. So I just don't know how feasible it would be for me to have this be like a dual system with the Moleskine and a notebook and rings, no matter what size I end up being with. Because I also have brought a Stalogy, a B6 Stalogy back into play, and I've just been using this. And the beauty of it is it's not dated, so it doesn't have to be like super consistent, but I'm using this, which I have to go back in and stamp this, as my journal, my weight loss journey journal, because I have things that I want to say, and I have really good days where I want to pump myself up, and I have really bad days where I have to remind myself that this is about a journey and not necessarily a goal. And it's just a good place for me to write down how I'm feeling, so that when I'm in a lull in a month, I can go back and see that that's not the first time a plateau has happened or feeling bad about myself. I'm going to keep progress pictures in here and everything. So I feel like I've already added something to the list, and then I just don't want to have all of these things that I have to do at the end of each evening. And this one is pretty important to me to do at least most days of the week. And then I also have that I have to keep in mind, which isn't a have to, but it's just something that I'd like to do. So over the past several years, the Hobonichi Weeks has been the place where I come in, and this is like something where I keep my memories, and I just have not been able to stay consistent with this book this year. I might still keep up with it for a while, just because I don't want to go back in and have to backfill it over and over again. But for me, it's just the paper and I are not being friends right now. And I really have to get myself into the mindset of, well, you don't like this paper, but you like the result, so just use it. And I'm just not there right now. And then of course comes in the Hemlock and Oak Undated Weekly that I just reviewed. And honestly, I've just had a lot going on. Our kids were getting ready for camp and then going to camp, and we've got stuff around the house that we're doing and stuff outside that we're doing, and I just haven't had time to come in and set up another planner. I do want to use this, and I think that this would be perfect instead of a Hobonichi cousin to use, since I don't need the dailies, to use this as a memory planner. In theory, I'd really like having a book that did do like both of these things at the same time, but I think I've kind of just decided that I don't know that I want them combined, because I'd like to keep that, like my life memories and my like more private weight loss journey separate. So I have not taken the time to set up, but this is, I think I'm just going to start it for July, because the dated versions of these have come out for next year, and I'm really excited about using it. So I feel like I have like my pros cons lists, I have my preferred methods lists, and I just don't want to become overwhelmed with what I'm using. So I just am not the person who, I know that so many of you guys really enjoy having multiple systems and keeping them all updated, and it's very much your crafty time, and you like decorating and choosing colors and washi tapes and all of that, but I just don't have the time right now to devote, and so it seems less like a fun project and more like a burden to me. So I know that I want to keep this in play for a memory keeper. I need to do this for like my mental health, and then it's the planner that I need to choose for going out and about with. And this isn't difficult to keep updated, and this could stay in my bag no matter what I'm using, but I also don't want to carry like 15 different planners with me. So at the moment, I'm feeling very much like it's summer and this is small and cute and very portable, and this would be a really fun option to choose. But now I feel like I have my personal rings so set up and like ready for use that I'm like, what? Yeah, I just don't want to do what I feel like I've been doing right now, and that's every couple of days changing my mind about which size I'm in. So I'm not sure. This, I don't think, can be everything that I need it to be on a daily basis. because there's just not enough room. And there's always obviously the bigger size, which I also have that one. And that would be, I guess, a good alternative as well, because even though it's bigger and might not fit in every bag, it is very thin and compact, and this would have enough space to do the running to-do list, the like checklist for the week, and the space for my workouts. I feel like I have filled in 1 week here, at least. Yeah. So, oh, that's exactly what I did. So I put my workouts in here. But obviously, I haven't kept up with it. If you put a pin loop on these, it's a perfect option, because you don't have to buy, I always say that and then I do, but you don't have to buy a cover for these, because it's like all inclusive, right? You know? But I don't know, something about like pocket size is just so, oh look, it's just my little pile of stuff. But I don't know that I can make this work, because I don't have enough room to now incorporate my workouts. And when I wasn't working out, that was not a problem, but now that I am, it's kind of a problem. So, I mean, this could be your memory planner for the year if you go that route, you know, the Hobonichi Weeks, the Hemlock and Oak, those are all really good options, or just like a bullet journal diary situation for a memory keeper for the year. But I just don't know that I can get away from using rings, because I like to put things into categories, and I like to organize them, and I like to be able to easily flip to a section and know where it is, and change my mind and take things out and put things back in. And you can't do this with any of these. I mean, the only thing that I think you really get with this that is really great is that it's inexpensive, and you can scratch down any kind of note here and you just tear it out, because it's just a spiral notebook. And they're only like $1 at Walmart, and you can pick up as many of them as you need. But I don't know that I could use this as a planning system, because I can't rearrange things. But something about this makes me feel a whole lot less anxiety than trying to, like in thinking of like a bullet journal style, as opposed to this, because you rip pages out of this and it's kind of noticeable. Trust me, I know from experience. And the pages on this are just like the perfect size for me, because I don't have a lot of things going on most days. And if I did have something going on, I could just spill it over to the next page. So as I'm talking about this, I feel like this could be a really good option. And if I had a really busy day and I, didn't want to carry even this small planner with me, that just taking this notebook with my running to-do list is good enough. I mean, that's what I did over the weekend. Or I could combine it with this or whatever. Keeping up with my planner in the morning and the evening and just carrying this around with me. I mean, that would work, right? Except for times when I'm like at the store and I need to refer to notes about makeup shades or who knows what. Insert whatever list you want. Because that's why I keep ring planners around, because you carry all that information. So I guess my update is that it's the same story, different day, mid-year, and I'm still in a bunch of nonsense. And I guess that's just gonna be the way it is. But I felt like I was like getting so much closer and getting things out of the way. And now I feel like I'm going completely backwards from that, and like anxiously like trying to reshuffle the same playlist. Yeah. So that's the story. The one thing that I do know is that I have narrowed down what doesn't work right now, and I just don't see incorporating strings or discs into my system. So, or like a spiral planner. I just don't think, I mean, this notebook isn't a planner, but like otherwise, like a stagnant, every single page is already made up for you, no additions or subtractions, spiral planner. For now, who knows? I might update you next week that I have done just that. So yeah, I guess. Don't come to me for planner peace, guys. This is what I'm dealing with right now. Today, I think if I was forced to make a decision for a planning system, I would probably take these two out with me right now. But these are just so cute. This is just not going to be everything that I need because I like those tabs and organization of rings. So I guess the beauty is that I have these things, and although there are a couple of variations as far as like what brand of inserts I'm using or what kind of tracker that I'm using or whatever, that these 3 books are set up very, very similarly, and in some cases identically. So it makes it very easy to go from one to the other. And then the other stuff, this doesn't have to be used. This is a keeper for sure. And then I really hope to get the time to move into this guy for my memories. I'm sad, I guess, that the Hobonichi Weeks doesn't seem to have a place right now, but I think I'd be less sad if I could find like that same cover in like personal or A6 size, because I guess it would just take away something that feels like it's missing in my lineup because I love that cover. It's sad. It's not about the planner inside right now. As much as I have loved the Hobonichi Weeks over the years, I just feel like I need time away from it right now, but I don't want time away from this. So we'll see what happens in the next little bit, but no final decisions have been made here, I guess. And I was hoping that talking through this would make everything crystal clear. And I don't know that it's crystal clear, but I do think that for now I'm going to decide to make sure that my pocket rings is updated and to go with this. Decision made for today, possibly. We'll see. I hope that your planner mid-year is going strong and that you're not bouncing in and out of different things. If you are, then you at least know that you have company and you're definitely not alone. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below about what you have going on in your planner world. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future videos, don't forget to subscribe. I have a couple ones coming up that I'm excited about, and I hope that you'll tune in for those as well. Thanks so much as always for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye guys.